Hi everybody. Hey, flu season is coming. Sorry to say, but flu and cold season is coming. And fortunately, I can brag and knock on wood that I haven't been sick since COVID, since 2020. And part of it is I, kind of went overboard and made sure that I didn't um, I followed all the rules about, not to get a cold, and all the things, getting a lot of rest, eating well, taking your vitamins, getting vitamin D, all that stuff. But one of the things that they didn't really talk about was elderberry syrup. And there's all kinds of recipes for this. And it can become very difficult of a process, but most of the time it's very simple. And all it is dried elderberry, and we're going to be using cinnamon, ground ginger, and ground cloves. And then the other main ingredient is raw honey. And so what I'm going to do is go through the process here and show you what we do. And so anyways, I measured everything out ahead of time so you didn't have to watch me measure anything. But anyway, there's 3 cups of dried elderberries here. Now these elderberries, the dry ones, you can get online. If you're lucky, maybe you can find somebody that's got fresh ones. But around here, I don't seem to be able to find anybody, so I have to buy them. I do get them on Amazon. I've got the link attached in the description, so if you need that, it's there. And then of course my spices. I make sure that my spices are organic. They're not, you don't want any that have been radiated, I think is what they call it. But because you need all the healing ability in everything. So your cinnamon has to be real cinnamon. This is Ceylon cinnamon. And then I'm sure you probably didn't realize that your cinnamon that you buy in the store is not really very good quality cinnamon. But that's a whole nother video. But anyways, and then organic ground cloves and organic ground ginger. So anyways, I have all these together. Then the next step is we're going to add the water. Okay, so I'm adding 6 cups of water. We have 3 cups of dried berries and 6 cups of water, and that's filtered water too. Now I probably should get a bigger pot, which I will do. I'll transfer this over to a bigger pot. But anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer this over to the stove. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. Or, not a rolling boil, but just a nice even boil. And then, once it starts boiling, I'm going to take it to a simmer, a real low simmer. And then I'm going to let it simmer for an hour. And then once that simmering is all done, and I'm going to take it off the stove and I'm going to let it sit, because I want it to cool down enough that I can work with it. Okay, so when we get to that point, I'll start it over. Okay, now we got this just about boiling, and I don't want to boil it hard. I just want it to come to a boil like it's just about to boil, because I want to make sure it's nice and hot, but I don't want it to ruin the berries, because the berries have healing abilities to them, and just like with anything, you heat it too much, it kind of kills all the goodies in it that makes it what they are to be able to heal. So this is nice and hot, and this is just about how I like it, just about before boil. So I'm going to turn that off, and then I'm going to turn on to a really low simmer. I'm going to move this over to there. Oops. So now we have it on on a real low simmer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover it, but I'm also going to put a little toothpick in here. Let's see, let's do it like this, so that it's has a little bit of airflow. And then we're going to do this for an hour. So we'll let that go for an hour. And then once it's cooked for an hour, then what I'm going to do is leave it on the stove and leave it there until, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes, until it's workable so I can touch it. You know, I still need it warm because we're going to add the honey, and I need it to be warm to be able to get the honey to emulsify through it. So anyway, so then when we get to that point, I'll come right back. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the elderberries to cook, I just wanted to show you a little kitchen hack. You know how when you go to measure out honey, how it will stick to the measuring cup, it'll stick to the spoons, it'll, you know, it's just like, and you're not really sure if you got the right measurement or not. Well, what I did here is I sprayed my measuring cup with this. Just do a light spray it in here, and then you measure it out, and then when you go to pour it out, it just slides right out, and you don't even have to worry about whether you got the right measurement or not. It works with the measuring spoons too. It's an awesome little trick. So just threw that in there in case you wanted to know. Okay, here we go. We have got our elderberry all brewed up. It's sat for a little while. It's still really hot. It's not cool enough that I can handle with my hands yet, but we can still start the straining process. Now here I've got some natural cheesecloth. Regular cheesecloth would work. I just use the unbleached natural kind. Get yourself a sieve, and then I've got this Pyrex mixing bowl that has a spout on it. It's kind of helpful. You can use any kind of bowl, but I use that because it just works better. And then you set your cheesecloth in there, and then we're going to start placing this in here, and then just letting it drain. Since it's still really hot, you're probably just going to want to have it sit for a while, and then just take its time to drain. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and add this all in there, and then once it's all drained, I'll come back and show you what we do. One of the things too that I do instead of just letting it drain, I mean, I'll get this all in here. This is going to take a couple of batches to do this, but I press these berries down until it squeezes all that juice out of them. And then once this is cool enough that I can handle, I will pull up the cheesecloth and then squeeze it real hard. I have to put my gloves on for that because this stuff does stain, and I've spilled a little down here, and so it's probably going to stain my cutting board, but that's okay. Cutting boards get all kinds of stains on them. So anyways, I will come back when this is all strained, but I just wanted to show you what I do here, and then I'll come back when we're going to squeeze it with the cheesecloth. Alrighty? Okay, this is cooled down a little bit, enough that I can show you how we do this. So you gather up all the ends of your cheesecloth, like this, and then turn it nice and tight, and then just keep twisting it. Keep twisting it. Keep twisting it. And the more you twist it, of course you can see the juice coming out. And I am wearing gloves because it really stains. And then as you're twisting it, squeeze it too. Now, this is not the whole batch yet, so I'm probably going to need another piece of cheesecloth to do the other side. Just squeeze it real tight to get all the juice out. And see, there's still so much juice in here, even though you can get it as tight as you can get it. There's still a lot of juice in there. So what I do is I usually will put it in a bowl and then let it drain. And then, oh, yeah, it even got stuck to my glove. So anyways, that's what I'm doing there. And then I'll do the second half of the batch. And then when we get it all strained, then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now we are to the point of everything has been squeezed out, all the juice. Use the cheesecloth and the strainer. And I'm going to put my gloves back on here. So we're going to, it's just warm right now. So this is just the perfect temperature. It's warm, but you can touch it. It's not overly hot. So this is where I add my spices. Now we have the ginger. Everything is organic. We have the ginger, the cloves, and the cinnamon. And so we're going to add this in. Stir it up. And then we're going to add our honey. And then this is 2.5 cups of honey. Oh, and by the way, this juice, we added 6 cups, and it went down to 5 cups. So it condensed down to that. So the juice is fairly, not thick, but a lot thicker. And then so we're letting all this honey drain out. Now before I put this honey in this measuring cup, I sprayed it. Well, I think I mentioned that already, but I sprayed it so that this will come out easily. And see how easy it's coming out. So anyways, get the rest of it out of here. It's been sitting a little bit, so it is sticky. Normally, if I use it right away, it just falls right out. So, okay. And then just keep stirring until it's all brought together. Now, how we use this is a good consistency. It's thinner, I guess. You can make this pretty thick. If you cook it down some more, it will be more syrupy. But the reason why we don't do this, or it's because we use it as a daily shot of good stuff. You know, like we will take it if we get sick. But like I said, since COVID in 2020, I had got really sick with the flu, but I don't know if it was COVID or not, because it was before COVID got all crazy. But I was really sick, and I didn't go to the doctor or anything, but I did all my home remedies, and I got through it. So, because I'm not one to go to the doctor. I mean, somebody'd have to take me in an ambulance before I'd go to a doctor. But that's just a personal preference to me. That's a long story in itself, so we won't bring that up here. But anyways, we will use this as a daily shot of good stuff. Like we'll just take a little shot glass of this daily, during the flu season. And it just does so much good stuff for you. I can put down in the description a link that will tell you more about elderberry. So that would help. So you know, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not one to tell you, give you medical advice or anything. So I'll send you a link to maybe what Dr. Axe says about it. He's a go-to guy for natural remedies and stuff. So anyways, once this is all nice and cleared up, now what I do, or nice and stirred up, I'm sorry, nice and blended, what I do is I put it in a jar like this, and then I use this lid. Now these lids you can buy on Amazon. I'll put the link down there if you need it in the description. But these lids are actually for when you have olive oil. And it's this spout for olive oil or any kind of oil that you use, which I do use them for oil. But it works out great for this because we just take it and pour it into the little shot glass, and then it just works out nice and neat, and you can keep it in the fridge. And this does need to be kept in the refrigerator, so make sure you do that. And then so here is what we do here. There we go. There's this one, and then I'll put the rest in a bigger mason jar, and then just keep refilling this one until it's all gone. And we'll do this a couple of times through the season, just to make sure that we're covered. And then I don't have a shot glass right handy, but I've got a little jar right here. So I just wanted to show you how we do this. And we do this. And then so whatever amount you want, you just do this and do a shot. So here you go, a shot of good stuff to keep you healthy and strong. And I hope you enjoy. And if this was helpful to you, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Alrighty? Thanks. Have a wonderful day.